Hi, Elementary D. Miss Lucy here to read to you the end of Chapter 9, Super Fudge. And also, I want to start by telling you guys, remember how we said after Chapter 9, there's no Chapter 10? And that was because that was our project. So we are going to still continue to do our project, okay? So listen very carefully to Chapter 9 so that you are able to do Chapter 10 project, okay? All right, so I am on page 127, where Miss Erica finished. So I'm going to start where it says well, okay? Well, Elaine said after we had our tickets. Aren't you going to introduce us to him? She nodded in Jimmy's direction. Oh, sure. Jimmy, meet Elaine, Sharon, and Joanne. Jimmy looked at Sharon for a long time. Sharon looked up at the sky. I'm Daniel Mannheim, the little creep said. I'm 6. I live at 432 Vine Street. That's nice, Elaine said. And who are you? She asked Fudge. Fudge Hatcher. Your little brother? Joanne asked me. Uh-huh. I never knew you had such an adorable little brother. Joanne had never said so many words to me at once. Fudge smiled. Adorable, that's me. And I'm Daniel Mannheim. I'm 6. We know, Elaine said. You want to make something out of it? Daniel asked in his best tough guy voice. So Daniel has this thing. He's only 6, but he acts like a tough guy, okay? Yeah, Elaine said. Put him up. She made 2 fists and held them to Daniel's nose. Okay, on page 128. Daniel started to cry. Don't hit me. Please don't hit me. I'm only 6. He covered his face with his hands. I'm not going to hit you, you doof, Elaine said. I only hit guys my own age. Right, Alex? And with that, she belted Alex in the gut. Cut it out, you! Alex shouted a lot of good words at Elaine. Daniel jumped up and down, singing, He said the A word! He said the A word! Shush, Elaine said to Daniel, or I will slug you. You promised you wouldn't, Daniel whined, and I'm only 6, remember? Why don't you all cut it out? Sharon said, looking at the ground. We went inside and stopped at the candy counter to buy popcorn and Cokes. Then we found seats for the kindergarten babies, got them settled, and crossed over to the other side of the theater, where we found an empty row for the 6 of us. Alex went in first, then Jimmy, then me, then Joanne, Sharon, and Elaine. I wondered if Joanne had planned to sit next to me the same way I had planned to sit next to her. When the picture started, Joanne offered me some of her popcorn, and when I reached into the carton, our fingers touched. Then I offered her some of mine, so our fingers touched again. By the time my fingers were covered with grease, but who cared? I began to relax, concentrating more on sitting next to Joanne than on the movie. But maybe that was because I already saw the movie. Then, right when Superman was about to kiss Lois Lane, I felt something icy cold slither down my back, and I let out a yelp, Ah! Fudge was hanging on the back of my seat with a handful of ice cubes from his Coke. Hi, Peter. Okay, so right here, Peter's behind in the movie theater, and he dropped his ice on the back of Peter's back. So it's probably very cold. You little... But there's no way I could catch him. He was already racing up the aisle. Here, Joanne said, handing me a Kleenex. Could you do it? I asked. I don't think I can reach all the way back there. Joanne mopped off my neck and then my back, and when she finished, she put her hand close to mine, and the next thing I knew, we were holding hands. Hers was soft but cold. When the movie ended, Joanne, Sharon, and Elaine walked home in one direction, and we walked home in another. So what's it like to be in love? Alex asked me. What are you talking about? I said. I'm on page 130. What are you talking about? Alex mimicked. And Jimmy said, so when's the wedding? Cut it out, will you? I said. By the time we got home, Alex and Jimmy were talking and laughing as if they had been best friends for about 100 years, and I felt left out. Dad had cooked a big pot of spaghetti, and Daniel was eyeing it until Mom told him how many onions had gone into the sauce. So remember, he doesn't like onions, he doesn't like peas, he doesn't like any of that. I wonder why Mom put onions in the spaghetti. Not only that, but Mom had fixed a bowl of peas as a side dish. And that was funny because we never have anything with spaghetti but bread and salad. I don't eat anything with onions. And I don't eat peas either, Daniel said. What else do you have? Okay. Now this little kid, now he goes to somebody else's house and he said, I don't like this. I want something else. So I don't think that they like that very much. Nothing, Mom told him. Then I guess I'll go home for supper, Daniel said. I thought I saw Mom smile. After supper, Alex went home to get his sleeping bag, and he and Jimmy both slept on the floor in my room. I wondered why I didn't feel better about the two of them being friends. Just because they liked each other didn't mean they didn't like me, but I had a hard time convincing myself. So here we have Jimmy, who's a friend from his old house, and we have a new friend, Alex, and they're getting along very well. And Peter doesn't know how he feels about that. Maybe he's feeling a little bit of jealousy, but we'll see. For the next week, Fudge walked around talking to himself. To most people, he is Fudge Hatcher, a regular boy. Only his trusty mynah bird and his friend Daniel know the truth. Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. Do you remember when I was born? He asked me one morning. Yes. Did I really grow inside of Mommy? Yes. Oh, he said, sounding disappointed. Why? Because if I did grow inside of Mommy, then I can't be from another planet. Take it from me, I said. You are definitely from Earth. Okay, so Fudge looks like he wants to be from another planet, not from Earth. A few days later, Daniel told Fudge that he had been adopted as a baby. So Daniel might be from another planet, Fudge said. Yeah, I thought, that would explain a lot. And he might be able to fly. Don't count on it, I said. Daniel is my best friend, Fudge said. If it turns out he's from another planet, he's going to take me there to visit. Swell, I told him. Don't hurry back. You're just jealous because you don't have a friend who can fly. On the last page, 132. I don't even have a friend from another planet, I said. Too bad for you, Peter. And he took off, flapping his arms and calling, It's a bird, it's a plane. Okay, and that's the end of chapter 9. So I will tell you more about your project tomorrow, but I want you to imagine what the Hatcher house would look like during Christmas. Okay, remember how Fudge is always causing trouble, he's a troublemaker. Okay, what would happen, you think, predict? What would happen if it was Christmas time? What might happen in the house? What would Peter do? What would Fudge do? You don't have to do this for homework, just something to think about. Okay, just think about it for now. All right, guys, my wonderful elementary D. You're just taking notes on the end of chapter 9, and I will see you tomorrow for our project. All right, miss you guys. Bye.